Isn't it annoying using the command line to execute database queries? If mistakenly close the command line, all queries are to be retyped. Copy-paste is also an annoying task on command line when you have to control it by a keyboard. Also, using SQL Server Manager for executing simple queries consumes heavy memory and also requires high processing. When it comes to developers, using SQL Server Manager can lag the system, as they already use high IDEs, and Studio, which already consumes heavy RAM and resources. Developer basically use CRUID queries for development, that is create, read, update, insert, delete.
To overcome these problems, we provide Database Query Executor. Features of Database Query Executor. It can save the queries with .vmdba_SQLQ extension. It is lightweight database application compared to server. Suggests of keywords, clauses, statements, column and table names. Autocompletes query. Presents tables, data in proper format compared to command line interface. All .vmdba_SQLQ extension files can directly open into Executor. Faster execution of queries. Support huge variety of queries along with CRUID queries.
Database Query Executor, short form VMDBE. Database Q is in DB form. Now let's start. Let's see the control first. So to execute query, we use execute query button, or we can use F5. To import any statement or any of the keyword or any table name in between the statement as a static statement, or in between of any statement, we can use VMDB helper. You will see the further the use of VMDB helper. Now to enable or disable, we can use disable or enable autocomplete. By default it is enabled. So now to use insert any suggestion, we need to click on this suggested word. So for connecting the database, first we require the server name, which is nothing but the server address. In my case it is localhost, and most of developer use the localhost while testing, so localhost is the default. However, you can provide any IP address if the database is stored in another machine. So we need to provide the IP address of that machine. Then we need to provide the server instance, which is nothing but the server object of which controls the database installed on your machine. Then the username and then password of the database for the database. Now then click login or click enter from the password text box. Let's see. Now I am not changing the name. I am keeping it as localhost, as the database is stored in my local machine, that is this PC itself. My instance name is vaibhav, my username is SA, my password is blah blah, and I am clicking on login. At the first stage it will take some time, some seconds, few seconds, then wait for a few seconds again, and it will give the suggestions of different database I'm using. For now I'm using this database, so we do not need to give a command like use database as we give in the SQL command for using any database. Now I can directly start executing. So as you can see here, it is autocomplete. So I want to disable this autocomplete. I'm disabling it, and now I'm not getting any suggestion. I'm again enabling it, and I'm just clicking on it. Now I have different tables available. So for now I have this table. I'm just clicking it and executing this query. I am getting this, getting a table. Now I want the table to be altered. So now I want a table to be altered. So I want these two columns, extra columns, to be altered. So I can use this command such as alter table. I'm clicking on this, and table name I just need to enter the initial, and it will suggest me the table name and column names. The table name, then I need to give a drop command, drop column and column name. Basically table name and the column name. What is the column name? Location. So let me give this execute query, and the table is successfully altered. Now let me see the changes. As you can see, the table is altered. Again I want to delete this roll number column. I'm just altering it, and you can see the alteration on the table. After that, I want to open any of the database file. So I will just click on open. First, I don't want to save this query, so I will say no, I don't want to save this query. No, I don't want to save it. Then okay, sorry, I first need to create no query, so it will automatically adjust and it won't show me. Now I'm using open query table. This is the query. So I have one more table name as teachers. I'm seeing the data first. So there are different data available. Last one is patchy. I am adding a column first. Insert. Let me wipe out everything. I'm just inserting insert into insert or select mode. Insert into what is my table name, or teachers, and now I want to insert. Two things are there. One is teacher ID, which is a number. I'm giving a number, and I'm giving a name like anything. Okay, now I'm just executing this query. Okay, there was a syntax. In case of error, it will show me under red that there is an error, so it will be same error that will be found in the SQL Server or in the database command line. So one row is inserted. Now let me check the query. So teachers, and I'm checking the reflection of my previous query, and as you can see, here is the last column added. Now I want to delete the column, or basically yes, I want to update the column, update the table. Instead of hers, I want to update that as Ria. Yeah, I want to update as a Ria. And how will I update? Update table name, update table, update table, so what was I set update, and my table name is set. Now I want to use the set keyword, set. Okay, what's my column name? Teachers ID. So I will like TECT. I will get the suggestion teachers ID. Wait, I want to rename the name, so I will keep, and I will just give a nice command like yeah, maybe Ria or anything, and where my teacher ID should be 13. Now I need to execute this command and execute query. Okay, teachers ID and teacher ID is 13, where teacher ID is 13. Okay, so teacher's name, update table name, set column name. Okay, where is the 13? Okay, invalid column name, teachers ID. Wow, teachers. Okay, let me see. In case of teachers ID, yeah, it's perfect. So I'm not getting set tables, table name, teacher's name, teacher name. Where, let me change the value of 1, this 4. Let's try. Okay, so there is some mistake over here. Teacher, where teacher ID is equal to 13. Executing the query. Okay, why it's not giving me? Okay, the row was already altered. Oh, now. Okay, so I suppose 2 times. Okay, let me delete the column first. Delete from table name, teachers. Okay, teachers, where teacher ID, okay, teacher ID equal to 13. So 2 rows deleted. I don't know why. I am editing 1 row more. I am updating. Update table name. What is my table name? Teacher. Okay, teachers. I suppose I have given in wrong set. Column name teachers. I am giving teachers. Okay, not teachers name equal to, yeah, where, and now lastly teachers ID equal to 13. Let me execute this query. Okay, so in my case I had mistaken in here. I have written student details. Okay, that was my mistake. So now, as you can see, I can in case of an error, and this was my mistake. I want to enter the teachers. It won't suggest me in between, so I will on this thing and I will just suggest and I will just use this. Okay, 1 row updated. Now I'm selecting and I'm seeing the updated value. So as you can see, here it is an update. Now thank you for this. I am closing this. I want to just save it, so I will save it and I will just close it. Yes, if I open any of this file, it will be directly opened with this file, with this command. So I am just double clicking it and I am just truncating or creating a truncating the table. So I am using truncate command. Okay, let me first log in. So vaibhav SA. Okay, there was an error. I suppose I entered a wrong password. Okay, wait a minute. JavaDB, and then I have truncate table table name will be teachers, and as you can see, execute query, truncated. Now if I execute, it shows me null values. Now I can even drop the table, table name. What is the table name? Teachers, and I'm just using this, and I'm just executing this query, and that's done. Now it should give me an error. What's the error? Object not found. Okay, so thank you very much to see my video, and hope so it will be helpful for all the developers to reduce their memory usage and execute the queries fast. Thank you.